A Vort from the Rebbe on this week's Parshas Ekev. In Parshas Ekev, Moshe Rabbeinu repeats what happened when they made the Egel, when the Eden did the sin of the golden calf, and as a result, Moshe Rabbeinu broke the luchas. He came down from Har Sinai with the luchas in his hands, and when he saw the Egel, he threw it down and broke it. And the expression the Torah uses is, Moshe Rabbeinu said, "Va'espes b'shnei aluches." I grabbed onto the two luchas, va'ashlichem me'al shtei yodoi, and I threw him down from my both hands. Va'shabrim le'neicha, and I broke him in front of your eyes. And the Meforshim ask, what does it mean that he grabbed onto the luchas? He came down from Har Sinai holding the luchas, so he had them in his hands already. What does it mean? I grabbed onto the two luchas and I threw him down. What does that mean? He grabbed. So the Rebbe says the pshat is like this. The luchas were given to Moshe Rabbeinu, so it's Moshe Rabbeinu's personal property. It says Leibel gave it to him. Nevertheless, Moshe Rabbeinu had in mind to give it away to the Eden, like he did everything else. The Lashon Gemara is Noag by Tuvayin. He was generous and he gave it. He was planning to give the luchas to the Eden. So as much as it was his personally, he already planned to give it. Now, planning to give it to the Eden already to a certain degree made that the Eden have a certain ownership over the luchas. So when Moshe decided to break the luchas after he saw the Egel, he had a question in his mind: is he allowed to do it? Since it partially belongs to the Eden, so is he allowed to break it? Is he allowed to steal it from the other people who it belongs to a certain degree? Can he damage it? It's not 100% his to do it. So Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to do something to make the idea he had to give it to the Eden, make it void, to nullify that idea. So that's what Moshe said, "Va'espes b'shnei aluches." I grabbed onto it, I made sure to hold it and make it back mine, to take away, to be mavatal, the idea I had to give it to them. So it has no ownership of the Eden, and therefore it's completely mine. And if it's mine, I have a right to do with it what I want. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu said, I grabbed onto it to make it completely mine, so I had the right to break it, and there's no shaila of stealing, of damaging someone else's thing. But then the Rebbe says there's a deeper inyan here. By Moshe Rabbeinu grabbing onto it and making it completely his, what he was doing is he wanted to make that he is the only one to blame for breaking the luchas. It's his thing. It's his luchas, and he is the one that broke his thing, and there's nobody else to blame. Which fits to what the Chazal say. Rashi brings in Parshas Yisrei that when Hashem said by the Aseres Adibros, "Anochi Hashem Alikecho," I am Hashem your God, in the singular term, he spoke to all the Eden. There so many people. He should have said Anochi Hashem Alekechem. Why did they say Alikecho your God? So Rashi says, so the Eibishter did it, so Moshe Rabbeinu should have a pischem peh, which means later on, when the Eden would worship an idol, the Egel, Moshe Rabbeinu could tell the Eibishter, don't be so upset. When you said, I am your God, you said it to me, you said it singular, you were talking to me, not to them. So don't blame them. So Moshe Rabbeinu, the Eibishter Chatchila made it that Moshe Rabbeinu should be able to take away the blame from the sin of the Eden. So the same thing here also. Moshe Rabbeinu loved the Eden so much, so he didn't want that breaking the luchas to be in such a way that it's for the negative thing concerning the Eden. So he grabbed onto the luchas, made sure that it's completely his. So it's he is the only one that's responsible and to blame for breaking the luchas, which shows the great mesiras nefesh of Moshe Rabbeinu for the Eden. Moshe Rabbeinu had no connection to Chet Egel. You couldn't even blame him for not protesting it because it wasn't even there. It was on the mountain. Nevertheless, not only did he beg Hashem to forgive them, and he went on Mesiras Nefesh for it. He said to David, if you don't forgive him, erase me from the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu was ready that his name should go out of the Torah to save the Eden, to be Meichel the Eden. And not only did he break the luchas, and that protected the Eden, like Rashi says, how breaking luchas made it that the Eden should not be hurt, he did more than that. He grabbed onto the luchas, made sure that it's completely his, so the Eden have nothing to do with the breaking of the luchas. It's completely his blame, all to take away the blame from the Eden. And this shows the great mesiras nefesh of Moshe Rabbeinu to the Eden. He loved the Eden so much that he was even ready to do everything possible that the Eden should not be blamed for anything negative, including the sin of Shviras haluchas or breaking the luchas.